Welcome to True Vine Talks with Rachel and Linda. We've been out for a couple weeks. We just got a little tired, so we took a little break, but we're back and ready to get started back on our podcast. So thanks for joining us today. Yeah. What's our topic going to be, Rachel?
For our topic, healthy habits for good mental health.
Yeah. And in one of our other podcasts, we kind of, we talked about some of the things that we incorporate in our day. Often, clients come and they've just, they're overworked, they've got a lot on their plate, and they just feel just drained.
Yeah, overwhelmed, stressed, tired.
Yes. And so often, when I'm working with someone, I'm noticing that their time is just packed. I try to process some, ways to unwind and, feel better. What are some things that you like to recommend for your clients to, unwind and, get better mental health?
I like to ask people, what is something, an activity that you enjoy doing where you kind of lose track of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can really just be in the moment and enjoy, reading, playing a game, walking outside, listening to music, whatever it may be. And it's different for everybody.
Yeah. I think that's called flow, isn't it?
It might be.
Yeah. One of those psychology words is when you get so enmeshed in the work or the artwork or meditation or yoga that you lose yourself in the movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to kind of encourage, our clients to do. Also, if you're a listener, you might wonder just for your daily life, what are some things that I can do that will make me feel better on the regular?
Yes.
Yeah. And so I like to encompass many things because in, being in the field, I listen a lot, and Rachel does too, to a lot of the psychologists that have come before us and things that they have suggested. Mm-hmm. And in ACT therapy, one of the core parts of that was what is my deepest innermost value? And also that's in Neuro Wisdom, and his work is by Robert Waldman and Chris Manning. I like to mention them because I love that book, Neuro Wisdom. I highly recommend it to lots of clients, and I'll send that book to them in the Audible version.
Nice.
Yeah. So what would be important about figuring out your deepest, most inner value?
Yeah. Well, I think our values kind of drive our daily life and activities that we choose, who we spend time with, what we spend time doing. If I value family, I'm going to set aside time to be with my family. If I value friends, same thing. If I value spirituality, I'm going to make time to meditate, pray, attend, a service. So they're kind of like guideposts in our life. In a way, our values.
Guideposts. What do guideposts do?
They kind of, show you a direction to travel.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah. So your value, if your value was money, your guidepost in life would be you would work more. Maybe.
Yeah.
Find ways to get more income.
Sure.
If your guidepost is love, then you would find ways to show your love to others during the day.
Yes.
Yeah. So kind of like your anchor for daily living.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a good way of putting it too. I like that.
Yeah.
And when we're not, following these guideposts or paying attention to these anchors, and let's say we value love and friendship and family, but we just feel so busy working and doing these chores around the house. There's a part of us that starts to kind of feel empty and sad because we're not making our value a part of our daily life and routine.
Yeah. And what happens to the person who doesn't feel like they're getting any time in with that value? Like, if I'm not getting time with family, if I'm not getting time to exercise for my body, what happens to them? Like you said, they feel empty.
Yeah.
There's a discrepancy between self and the value.
Yeah.
And that creates anxiety.
Sure does.
And you just feel like, what am I really doing?
Yeah. Tired, overwhelmed,
fatigue.
all those things.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to know your deepest inner value before you start doing anything else for a healthy mental life.
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Yes.
Yeah. Because that would be your anchor or your guidepost for your daily life, your future goals, and your vision board for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the foundation you build upon.
I like
These are my core values. These are what's most important to me. And how do I want to, celebrate that and incorporate that into my life?
Awesome. It doesn't matter what your value is.
No.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people, when you come to a counselor, we're not infringing, is that the right word, or superimposing our beliefs on you.
Right.
Our values, what we think you should care about.
No.
If you're going to a counselor and they're telling you what you should care about and do, that's not good counseling.
No.
Yeah. It's what you care about.
Yeah.
What's your deepest inner value.
Yeah. And everyone's different.
Everyone's different.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And that's okay. So that's where you want to start your day. So when you wake up in the morning, you're getting ready to stretch and get out of the bed, contemplate and ponder and meditate on the thing you care about the most. So if it's being a good mom, how are you going to make that happen today? Yeah. And think about all the ways you've been a good mom.
Yeah. That leads us to our second thing we were going to talk about. Positive self-affirmations.
It does.
So, yeah. How have I been a good mom? How have I been a good friend?
Yeah. And you want to keep those positive. So some people will say, well, I don't do this, and I don't yell at my kid, and I don't spank my kid, and I don't, cuss at him. And I'm like, well, that's all using a negative verbiage for how you do parenting. So how would that look different if I'm saying something good about my parenting?
Yeah. I'm kind, I'm nurturing, I speak to my children with respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it would look different. It's what you are doing instead of what you don't do.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm listening and attuning to what they're saying and feeling.
Yep.
Yeah. And rather than come down on them, I talk about what it is that's bothering them and just being present. So I'm a present mom, or I'm a present parent, and I support them and say kind things to them. I pack their lunch. I do their laundry.
Yeah. I meet their needs.
I meet their needs. Yeah. So there's so many things that you do as a parent that you don't, oh my goodness, I'm doing so much. And don't get into shame saying, oh, I should have showed up more. I should have, been at every single game. Were you working to meet their physical need? Okay. You had to meet their physical needs, so you had to work and miss the game. That's okay.
Yeah.
People get into all this shame talk about how they're doing. I'm like, Do you have to provide for your kid? Okay. So you can't always be at everything. That's okay. You're doing your best.
Yeah. And your best is going to look different every day.
Exactly.
You know? Your best on 3 hours of sleep is way different from your best on 8 hours of sleep.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right on.
Your best with a full schedule is different from your best on a weekend with no plans.
Yeah.
We got to give ourselves some grace every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I love giving myself grace.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So you as a listener, at the end of the day, if you didn't sit down and spend time asking your spouse how they did, what's happening for them, because you worked 10 hours and you're just done. Maybe you're a teacher and you were out there working with kids all day and you're just spent. You have nothing left. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Or was it a more trying day than another day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But remind yourself, of those positive things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that comes to, our next part. We were, in this series, with acknowledging emotions throughout your day.
Yes.
So that's our emotionally focused therapy model we go to is, what am I feeling right now? And, attuning to what's happening for me on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really anxious right now because I had to miss my kid's game.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings up, a lot of shame for me because I want to be the mom that always shows up, but I had to work. Right?
Yeah.
So not ignoring that part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Right? But reminding yourself that it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what happens when you name it to tame it? What happens to our physical self?
Yeah. Well, when you take the time to kind of hold space for your emotion, you start to calm down. Mm-hmm. You feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was watching a movie the other day and something reminded me of my cousin who's passed. And, I just got really sad and I had to stop and say, I miss you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you're in tune to what's the emotion that comes up for you, it just soothes you. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so sad he's not here anymore. Mm-hmm. And you may have moments like that as a listener. You may have moments in your day where something reminds you of someone you lost, or something reminds you of how you didn't get something right for somebody. And you got to acknowledge that. That helps your mental health.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's that part. Acknowledging some of those emotions throughout your day. That will help you feel better.
Yeah. Because so often I think that we try to, be strong. Yeah. I don't have time to feel sad. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I gotta push through, be brave, put on a happy face. So many people that I talk to feel like they kind of wear a mask. The mask that everything's okay, I've got it together. But deep down they feel like, they're falling apart when they're alone. So, acknowledge all those things when they come up.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Because when you're on autopilot and stuff's coming and you're not recognizing it, you're just numb.
Yeah.
Frozen in time.
Yeah.
Like a robot.
Yeah.
So
we're human.
Yeah.
And human experience is to feel.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't, anger, sadness, all these things
Fear.
wouldn't exist if they didn't hold meaning.
Yeah.
And some sort of importance. Like it's telling us something to signal. And if we don't tune into that and pay attention to it and figure out, what is my unmet need right now?
Good, yeah. What is my longing right now?
My longing, my fear. It's happening for me.
Do I just need a hug for 30 seconds or more?
Maybe you do.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, Dan Siegel, he talks a lot about that in that Mind Psych book, about, integration and understanding what's happening for you and attuning to those things that come up. Because you have the physiological happening, you got the emotional happening, you've got memories that get triggered in your day. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. A little voice in your head that
Yeah.
likes to chime in when you least expect it and say, you're not good enough,
Yeah.
you're not doing enough, you're stupid.
Yeah. You
like,
dumb.
What
What
are you doing here?
You don't know what you're doing. You're like, I like to talk back to that voice and just say,
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, listen, inner judge or inner critic, I got this. I'm trained, I'm skilled, and I'm passionate about helping others. I got this. Yeah, so that's those positive affirmations.
Self-affirmation.
Yeah, coming in to play.
Totally. And all of these things that we're talking about are, examples of small commitments that you can make in your daily life. And so that's the next thing that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Little small commitments to make towards a larger goal in life. Yeah.
Definitely.
So what would be an example of that? Like if you had a large goal of, paying off debt or whatever. Small commitment to that every day might look like, okay, today I'm gonna skip the Starbucks. Yeah. I'm not gonna spend, $6 on a coffee today. That's one tiny thing that's going towards your larger goal.
Yeah. I'm going to go pay $6 on that loan.
Yeah.
Not that they'll let you do that, but I don't know how you pay $6 on a loan, but you could try.
Yeah. Or I'm going to move it to savings.
And then pay
when that savings, gets up to whatever amount.
That's a good idea, Rachel. Yeah. I like that. Or, if you're wanting to invest in your future, you could buy some stock. You could go to E-Trade and maybe buy some stock and take that $20 you would have spent at Starbucks and invest in your mutual funds for your future, or whoever you wanted to do that for. Yeah.
If your larger goal is living a healthier lifestyle, maybe a small daily commitment would look like, okay, I'm going to drink more water.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to have 8 glasses of water today.
Yeah. If you're getting ready to prep for a race, you may start out with 1 mile one day walking. The next day you might try to run half that mile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then you get to your goal of 3 miles eventually over maybe 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, yeah. One thing we do as humans, we go to extremes.
Yeah.
It's like, today, I'm never eating sugar again.
Right? Yeah. I'm done with it. Yeah.
This is over. There's no more candy. And what does that do to the brain? I want candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's why smaller commitments trick your brain. Yeah. You don't want to say all or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can't maintain that.
Yeah. Well, and we do that in counseling, in sessions too, Yeah. If something is too much, like a topic's too difficult to talk about, slice it thinner.
Yeah. What would be easier to talk about today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby steps. We're not rushing.
No rush.
Anything.
No race. Yeah. Oh. All right. So in making small commitments, what's important if you are setting boundaries for your diet, and that's the next one is like, how do I say no to eating 10 pieces of chocolate today? How do I say no to those things? Right? That's the big question. How do I commit to daily self-care if I'm making a small commitment? How do I commit to not buying the Starbucks and putting it in savings and paying off my school loan sooner? What are some things I need to start doing?
Yeah. Setting some boundaries with yourself.
Yeah.
We've talked about setting boundaries with other people.
Yeah.
Coworkers, family and friends, but we need to set boundaries with ourselves too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to sit on my phone for 3 hours and waste time on Instagram today.
I'm not going to look on Facebook for the next 2 hours and look at all these funny memes. I love memes.
I do too.
Yeah.
I know. And it's just like the time flies, but not the good kind of like getting lost in, that we talked about.
Not flow. It's not flow. Looking at memes
like
is not flow.
Dissociation or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's the avoidance.
Yes.
Of doing the things you need to be doing.
Procrastination.
Yeah. There's a difference between avoiding life and then pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Making the most of life and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So boundaries with technology, sugar, whatever you're trying to limit or cut out of your life.
Yeah. I mean, you have to say no to yourself. When I go to Macy's, I can't buy 5 new pairs of shoes. Right? Well, first off, what do I need 5 new pairs of shoes? That's ridiculous. But, maybe I want 5 new pairs of shoes, and I'm not saying it right, but I don't know how to say 5 new pairs of shoes. Shoe, two. I don't know. Shoe. How do you say that? But it's like saying, Linda, you don't really need 5 pair of new shoe. You need 1 pair. Okay, that's reasonably priced. Okay, I can afford that. Yeah. It's learning to say no to yourself. And, my generation, we grew up without all this instant gratification. The most eating out we ever did was a Pizza Hut once a week. There was no McDonald's. Chick-fil-A wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was in coal mining country, though. We only had 1 Pizza Hut within 50 miles.
I grew up similarly. We had like a Giovanni's,
there you
like
go.
20 minutes away from the house. Like that was it.
You didn't have Panera Bread,
no,
did you?
No, we didn't.
Yeah. So you had to make do with what you had. So you had to tell yourself no because, you didn't have the opportunity just to go pick something up, instant gratification. Mm-hmm. You couldn't instantly text someone.
No.
I didn't have communication 24/7.
Yeah.
So a lot of the boundaries that you guys, I don't mean you guys, I mean all of us have to set now. 15 years ago, we didn't have to set so many boundaries with ourselves and devices and eating out and it's just different.
It's very different.
Yeah. You had a landline. You never talked to your friends after school, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The internet was dial-up, and
Mom
couldn't. Needed to call her sister, so you had to get off.
Yeah. AOL, Instant Messenger. Yeah. I mean, the delay talking to someone on AOL was forever. Yeah. That's so funny. Oh, I'm so glad we can talk about that stuff.
So little limits for yourself.
Love and limits for your kids and for yourself.
Yeah.
So then, towards the middle of the day, I'm going to jump to, is this okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to jump into engaging in a pleasure board. I think that's an important part in Neuro Wisdom by Mark Wallman. He writes some incredible stuff. Just every day, creating like a board or figuring out, write some notes of some things that bring you pleasure. If playing a game on your phone unwinds you on the hour, go ahead and do that. Take 5 minutes, take a break, take a minute, breathe, you know. So you want to figure out what's going to bring me pleasure throughout the day. Small pleasures. Not one big pleasure. Small pleasures throughout the day.
Okay.
Makes your work day better.
Yeah. Breaks it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you a chance to relax and unwind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watching a funny YouTube video, that I love watching Saturday Night Live's videos on YouTube. Makes me laugh throughout the day. Gives me a short break, you know, from the work I'm doing. And it's good to have small pleasures all day. Yeah, go for a brisk walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just so important because the brain just starts to, I guess it just starts shutting down after so long, and it needs a mental break.
Totally.
Yeah. And you'll come back to your work more refreshed. Well, that's why a lot of bigger companies have those nap rooms.
Oh, nice.
Playrooms now, which I love. I think that's great. Have a little play in your day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
I think it would increase creativity and some of those things too in the workplace.
Yeah. So in that, you might do a little mindful meditation. Mm-hmm. And people hate mindfulness. They really do. They fight against just being quiet.
I like it, and I think I fought it in the beginning a little bit too. But once I realized that meditation can pretty much be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be, sitting cross-legged on the floor with your fingers in that circle going om, it's like the stereotypical.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes it's just like if I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, I'll just sit quietly and close my eyes, and I'll just do some of those positive self-affirmations that we talked about earlier, like I am confident, I am competent, I'm brave, I'm strong, like just thinking, positive things that I want, thinking about the person I want to be, right? Because if I focus on those things, I'm more likely to, put that out into the world and be that person.
Yeah, and Rachel is all those things.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yes.
So
that's good. And, mindfulness, like body scans, starting from your toes. What do you feel in your feet? And scanning your legs. Do you feel any tension in your legs? Scroll on up to your stomach. Just a body scan is a real effective, quick way to sort of unwind.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. It's good self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxing. I like this too.
Yeah. Do you think we've covered that part? So
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Mindful meditation.
Yeah. So then number 8, competing with yourself and not others.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Important to remind yourself, because it's hard not to compete with other people, I think. You see someone that looks like they've got it like all together.
Yeah.
And they're doing all these things.
Yeah.
And they look great.
They're on trips all the time.
It's like, man, why can't I do that? What's holding me back? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah. How do they get to do all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not acknowledging, everything that we have accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And someone out there might be looking at us thinking the same thing.
That's true.
Man, they've got it all together. And you're like, no, I don't.
Yeah. I make it look good. Yeah. But really, I'm falling apart over here.
Blowing my hair out.
Yeah. Yeah. Competing with yourself, that's important. My trainer, she's mentioned that, she don't compete with other people. She competes with herself. And I think that's an important thing to recognize is my best run isn't going to be her best run.
Yeah.
And I have to accept that and be okay with that. You know?
Yeah.
Someone else's best workout with the weights that they can do won't be my workout with that same amount of weight. And that's okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have limits, what you're born with.
Yeah. We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And just learning to, accept those and work with them versus working against them is a huge impact on your daily life.
Yeah. It's like, am I really giving 100% today? Yeah. Is that the best I can do? 100%? Yeah.
I don't know how you can do more than that.
And, and that's okay. If, it looks different every day, like you mentioned earlier, Rachel, it could look different. On the days I've had a headache, I won't look 100 like I did the day before when I didn't have a headache. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Totally okay.
And if my hair looks crazy today, that's okay. Which all people know, my hair is not, it never looks, all put together. And I'm always okay with it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a little wiry is fun. So, and what do you think is important, as we've went over so many valuable things today, towards the end of your day, Rachel, how do you unwind and kind of make yourself feel at ease with how your day went? What do you do?
Around number 9.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
We have a list.
Yeah, we have a list.
I do not do this enough. It's actually my goal to do this more, but kind of reflecting on accomplishments, things that went well, things I want to keep doing, keep working towards. Yeah. I think we don't talk about our accomplishments enough in a way that's not, not bragging, just being proud. I think people want to be humble. You can be humble and still be proud of yourself and talk about your accomplishments.
Yeah. Did I make it to work today? Check.
Yeah.
Did I brush my teeth? Great job.
Yeah. Little things. Don't forget the little things.
Yeah. Did I pick up that trash on the street? Yeah. Did I tip the Starbucks guy? Yeah. It's the little things. Did I smile at my neighbor when I woke up? No. Me and my neighbor, we get along great. Just playing. Yeah. Yeah. Did you help your client today? Yeah.
Yep.
Were you a listening ear to a friend? Yeah. Did you post nice memes on Facebook? We hope so.
Yeah. To inspire people.
We don't want to be mean on Facebook. No.
Yeah.
So yeah. You got a lot right today. And sometimes it's hard, especially if you start comparing, going back to, oh my gosh, they went on a trip and they just got a new job. They did this. They did, if you're a teenager, he got new sneakers today and his girlfriend's still with him and, they're just rocking it out and they got good hair. Yeah, the things teens talk about, 'cause that's a lot of our work's with teenagers. So, I don't compare. Say, I like me. I like the way my hair laid today. I like my eyes. I got banging eyes. Just focus on what's cool about you and good. And it helps. What does that help in the brain when you start focusing on those things?
What happens within affects what happens without.
Exactly.
What we think about to ourselves throughout the day, every day, impacts our world around us.
Yeah. Very good.
If we keep it positive, right? One thing that, I have a lot of goals, but one of them lately has been to never finish a negative sentence. I'm really working on that. So if I start to say, I'm so, I stop it.
Yeah.
And I instead, I'll say, you know what? I did really good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So then it doesn't release the fight or flight or the cortisol.
Yeah.
And then you're instead of saying, oh man, I'm so stupid, I shouldn't have done that, that releases the cortisol in the body, which puts you in angst, anxiety, fight or flight, and then your body starts to feel it, and then you feel bad, and then you get sad.
Yeah.
So it's better, like you said, to stop yourself, say, I am accomplished, and I'll do better at this one thing next time.
Yeah. Learning to talk to yourself like you would talk to someone that you love.
Ooh, good one. Good one, Rachel.
It's my big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just want to say that, mental health is so important. And if you're listening, we hope that parts of this podcast are helpful to you just in your daily life. I do want to give, of course, I've mentioned him before, Neuro Wisdom. Robert Woolman wrote that, and Chris Manning. And then, of course, Atomic Habits. That's some of that too, by James Clear. That's a good book to read. And probably if you see me for therapy or anyone does, I always send these books to you. So I think it's so important to, read these things and learn for yourself how to make your daily life better.
Yeah.
Your mental health, overall mental health. And Rachel posted on Facebook the other day, you've only got you, like take care of you. How did it
it was talking about how the relationship with yourself is like the most complex relationship you'll ever be in, because you're gonna make mistakes and you gotta forgive yourself for those mistakes. And you gotta learn to love and be okay with yourself even when you're kind of disgusted with yourself, like you've done something that you're just like, ugh.
Very
like
good.
Eat a whole sleeve of Oreos. I don't know.
Or eat a bunch of York peppermints. That is sitting on my desk right now. Oh my gosh, I gotta get rid of this chocolate.
Learning to be, more compassionate and kind to yourself. Yeah. And when you do that, you'll feel so good. You'll feel so much better, and you'll be more compassionate and kind to other people.
Oh my goodness, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have grace for you, you don't have grace for others. Yeah. We appreciate you guys so much for listening to our podcast and supporting True Vine. We hope you'll listen to us again next week as we cover some of these good, healthy habits and things. So, thank you.
Until next time.
Bye.